Okay, let's get straight to it. We're not going to talk about AI like it's some kind of futuristic fantasy. We're here to talk about the brutal, unfiltered truth of how it's completely tearing up the rulebook for your career right now.
And no, that's not me being dramatic. That's a direct quote from a legend in the field, Jakob Nielsen. The entire world of work you trained for, the one with predictable career ladders and stable jobs, it's gone. If you think AI is just another tool you can add to your toolkit, well, that's a fatal mistake. And this is a huge shift in thinking. For years, we've been clicking on buttons that were maybe powered by AI behind the scenes. That's over. AI is becoming the main way we interact with everything. Think of it as the new operating system for work, not just another app you open. What this really means is we're moving from a world of commands to a world of intent. For the last, 40 years, we've had to tell computers exactly how to do things. Click here, drag this, fill out that form. Now, we just state our goal, our intent, and we let an AI agent figure out the how. So here's the bottom line. If you want to make it through this shift, you have to face some really uncomfortable facts head on. We're going to walk through 4 brutal truths that you absolutely must get your head around to stay relevant.
So let's just rip the Band-Aid off with the first one. You heard me. The graphical user interface, the whole visual world of windows, icons, and menus that has defined computing since 1984, is now basically obsolete from a strategic point of view. The days of obsessing over pixel-perfect screens they're over.
And this really explains why. I mean, think about it. Why would anyone click through your beautifully designed multi-step sales funnel when their personal AI agent can just talk directly to your company's API and buy the thing instantly? The screen is literally vanishing. It's becoming this temporary, disposable thing generated just for a moment. All right, let's get to the second truth. And I gotta warn you, this one feels completely backward at first. Yeah, I know. We've all been told that human in the loop is the gold standard, right? The safe way to use AI. Well, it turns out that for a lot of tasks, that's just not true anymore. We're seeing something called competence inversion take over. Just let that sink in for a second. Our own gut feelings, our biases, they can actually mess up what the AI is doing correctly. So the new job isn't to hold the AI's hand every step of the way. It's to give it clear directions up front and then get out of its way. We're not the pilots anymore. We're the people who handle the rare emergency. And that idea leads us right into our third brutal truth, and this one's all about who you think you are professionally. Seriously, your senior director title, all those certifications you collected, your fancy degree, they're becoming worthless as a signal of what you can actually do. A career isn't a ladder you climb anymore. It's more like a moving walkway that just suddenly changes direction, and you'd better have good balance. So, what matters if titles don't? One word: agency. This is it. This is the single most important skill, bar none. It's not what you know, because that'll be outdated in 6 months. It's about your raw ability to take action, to figure out messy new tools, and to create real value when nobody's giving you a playbook. And that brings us to the fourth and final truth. And this one is going to hit a lot of my fellow creatives right where it hurts. The actual skill of making something look good is being democratized by AI at a dizzying speed. People with zero design training can now create professional-level images and videos just by describing what they want. The craft, the technical skill of making the thing, is no longer a big deal. This is so important. The value is no longer in the execution. It's in the strategy. The real prize goes to people with clear thinking, good taste, and a vision for what to tell the AI to do in the first place. It's not about the pixels anymore. It's about the point you're trying to make. Okay, so we've talked about the symptoms, right? The UI is dead, humans can be liabilities, job titles are meaningless, and design skills are cheap. But what's the disease? What's the massive force under the surface that's causing all this chaos? Well, the answer is a little something called complexity debt. In the mad rush to adopt AI, companies have been slapping all these different tools onto their old, creaky systems without any real plan. This has created total AI chaos, automations that break, systems that don't talk to each other, and just a huge, inefficient mess. But out of that chaos, a new hero is emerging. This is the most critical new job of our time, the AI orchestrator. And this isn't just about writing clever prompts. This is a true systems thinker, someone who can step into that mess, tame the chaos, and actually weave all those separate AI agents into a single, beautiful, functional symphony.
Let's just look at the difference here. The manual operator, that's the old way. You're reactive. You focus on one task at a time, and you use AI like a hammer. The AI orchestrator, though, is proactive. They design and manage entire automated systems. They command a whole fleet of AI agents. And how do these agents actually work? It's a pretty simple but incredibly powerful loop. First, they sense the world around them. Then, they plan out a series of actions to hit a goal. They act on that plan using different tools. And finally, they reflect on how it went so they can do it better next time. So really, it all comes down to this one fundamental choice that every single one of us has to make. You can stay a manual operator, doing individual tasks in a world that needs fewer and fewer people to do them. Or you can evolve. You can become an AI orchestrator, the one who designs the systems that will run the world. The choice is really that stark. There's no safe middle ground here. This transition period we're in right now, it's a very short window of opportunity to trade in what you used to know for what you need to know now. The message is simple and it is brutal. So what do? It boils down to these two things. First, you have to master the language of intent. That's how you'll direct these new systems. But even more important, you have to embrace that personal agency we talked about, the drive to act, to build, and to lead when everything is uncertain. The future isn't about waiting for instructions anymore. It's about being the one who writes them.